Hey beer fans, Ashley here from Sexton-Brewing.ca, and we are back with another craft beer review today. So the other night, or depending on when this video comes out, Nick from Maxwell Starr's Beer Review and a few of the guys, they did a impromptu beer analysis 101 of this beer. This is Solstice Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from GLB, or Great Lakes Brewing, from Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada. I wasn't able to make that beer analysis. I joined probably an hour and a half afterwards, and they, suggested I don't know who it was. I think it was probably Chris. Yeah, Chris from Off the 10th suggested that I review this beer anyways and upload it. So here I am. Now, normally with my craft beer reviews, I don't usually give scores or anything like that. I just sort of give tasting notes, thoughts, impressions, so on and so forth. But for the purpose of this one and to stay true with the beer analysis 101 theme, I will do a rating based on what I feel, how this stacks up to the style of beer, and then what my personal opinion is. And these ratings will be out of 10. What Nick does with that, I don't really care. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm just here to drink the beer. So let's get into this. So this was probably a few months old. I think this was purchased right around November, if not a little earlier, if not a little later. It's an annual release by GLB. I've never had it personally. This comes in at 11.5%. Ingredients on the back here: water, barley, wheat, vanilla beans, yeast, and hops. And as I mentioned earlier, this is bourbon barrel aged. And that's all we got. That's the info. And again, that's another look-see at the label there. So let's see what we get. I've been storing all these beers in my garage, and took this out about a half hour ago, so it's probably still a little chilled, but oh well, such is life. Pouring it into my trusty Cayman Kettle Tulip that miraculously I've had this glass for like 4 years and it hasn't been broken, so it's a hard thing to do around here. So, super tight, dense, compact, khaki colored head, a lot of different shape size bubbles. It's got some nice legs to it there, coating the glass quite well. That is dark as dark can get. Just held up to the light, just a touch of like rosy red coming through just on the edges, but other than that, I'm sure on the camera this is just coming through as black as it could possibly be. Visually, it looks stunning. Let's get an aroma. So you're just hit with that barrel. Rich, deep vanilla notes, chocolate, some wood, molasses, fig, dark char, like a nice rich char to it. But then that vanilla sort of brings it all together and brings you back from all of those heavy, aggressive notes and sort of brings that sweetness in. Sort of foreshadows what the flavor is going to be like. Smells divine. Let's get into it. Cheers. Body-wise, I'd say it's medium to medium full. Very light carbonation, coats the palate really well. Got like a residual oiliness to it on the back end. The very front, you're getting real heavy caramelized sugars, molasses, or call it PA brews, we call it treacle. And very rich sugar notes on the front. Stays sticky. The mid palate and towards the back, that's where the chocolate sort of kicks in. Chocolate malt, that ashy bitterness is pretty present there on the finish. And then the vanilla is just sort of trickling through at all stages of the sip. Again, much like the aroma, it just sort of, the vanilla is there just to sort of take all the the aggressiveness of the malts and just sort of bring it all together in a nice little package. This is a delightful beer. Deceptively smooth. Hides the alcohol exceptionally well. Goes down super easy, maybe a little bit too easy. Overall, this is a really tasty beer. Yeah. So there we go. Solstice. Bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout from GLB. Overall, just a very delightful beer. I can't remember what the price point was on this one. Doesn't really matter. If you're in the area, if you have someone who lives in the area that can get this for you next year, I don't know if it's still in the bottle shop or not. Doesn't really matter. I'd definitely pick it up. Next year, I'll probably pick up a few of these via my Etobicoke beer mule. The balaclava one there, the beer burglar. That's tasty. So what am I going to give this one? For the style, I'm going to give this a very solid 9.25 out of 10. I think this represents the style exceptionally well. I can't detect any faults in it whatsoever. And not that I'm an expert or anything of that nature. I'm just a guy who drinks beer. But I think this, if you're to... Yeah, if I had to describe a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout, pretty much all the notes I'd be looking for in this beer. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.25. And then for personal preference, I'm just going to stick with that score, 9.25. I think, it serves itself very well. It represents the style well. It drinks very nice. And yeah, that's it. So, that wraps this one up. So until next time, have yourselves a good one, and we will see you. Cheers.